next guest, well, he describes himself. He's Craig Hutchison. Hutchie, good morning, dear.
Good morning, Ross. John, great pleasure to be here. How are you going?
Good. Co-host of the Footy Show for this year. Are you going to start with a blockbuster?
It's going to be a lot of fun. How good's life to get a chance to do this tonight? Growing up as a kid watching the show, really excited about it. Obviously, a bit of an adjustment for the audience and for everyone involved, but I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. What a good show in store tonight.
There's no pressure on you, is there? You're on the front page of the Green Guide. You've got a full page in the footy section of the Age and the back page.
Well, the good thing is that the three hosts before me, or certainly the three co-hosts before me, Eddie and then Gary and James, all began from a position of mass popularity. I'm beginning from a position of widespread uncertainty from people, so I reckon I can only rise up, John, whereas I think everyone else came from a good starting point.
Well, that's a bit like the old editor of The Truth magazine who said, he said, I started working for an underground newspaper at Melbourne University, now I'm working for the gutter press, I'm working my way upwards, he said. Hey, did you think about it twice? Was there a moment's hesitation where you think, oh, God, do I really need this?
How can you? I think it's just one of those great honours in Australian TV. I mean, AFL's a wonderful... We're blessed to be involved in footy. It's the only prime-time, free-to-air program in footy, and it's an entertainment show. So the sheer nature of a show, I mean, you just had to say yes. The only trepidation was around James because once that had been done, we were really close, and I just unbelievably love James and what he's been able to do as a support for me, and even this week he's been fantastic. So that was.
But he gave the job up, so it wasn't as if he'd been sacked to make way for you.
Yeah, no. By the time it hit my desk in December, what their discussion was all said and done. But I was keen to tick that off at the time because of my love for James. But he's been fantastic, as is Gary and Eddie, and so it's really exciting. It's
who's the person you want most to say yes to an interview? Is it James Hird?
Yeah, I think his story's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, we were just talking about it off here before, and for all the things that he's done, James, or perhaps didn't do in the governance at Essendon, I think when he finally comes forward and says, I made a few blues, I'm really sorry, give me another go, I think we're a pretty understanding country, aren't we? Everyone will give him another
I reckon.
chance.
When you said that, it made me think, why hasn't he done it already? Was it because it was too bound up in legal proceedings that he didn't have that opportunity to sit down, say, and have a one-on-one on the Footy Show and explain himself, at which stage presumably everyone would say, whatever you need forgiving for, you're forgiven?
Well, leaving aside whatever he's going through emotionally and mentally, which we can't be privy to and don't know, I think he probably hasn't had anything go wrong in his life before, James, has he? So when things went wrong, he hasn't really known how to handle it and to deal with it, where I think most of us have had some knocks on the way where we understand that you put your hand up and you say, I made a blue here. And as a country, we're pretty forgiving. And as a football industry, we're particularly forgiving.
When you've thought about what you're going to do in your new role as host, you would have thought, what am I going to do differently?
Yep.
I'm sure you would have. What are you going to do differently?
Well, I'm pretty determined to be myself. I think the Monday Night Footy Classified and some of the other things I've done on television by the nature of the role have been pretty serious. And I don't think that's necessarily who I am. People will make their own decision. I won't. I could hand out $100 notes in the crowd tonight, I reckon. It wouldn't be able to turn some people's opinion of me.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I reckon that's part of the beautiful thing about TV and life is everyone gets to have an opinion and have a say. What I'm going to do is just be me, and then people will make their own decision.
Will you read social media comments about yourself?
I have skimmed through them. Yeah, just have a quick look.
Because I reckon there are two groups of people, those who do and those who don't.
Yeah. Well, I don't need to get too deep into them because there's not many things unite us, but most people are united by the fact that it's been a bad decision to put me into the show.
Well, but see, I think you just ignore that. I mean, I've got a friend, you would know him, I've got to say who he is, who works in television, who said he deleted his Twitter account just for one reason, and that is that he pretty much wanted to stop himself feeling like he should jump off the top of a building.
Yep.
Because it's a pretty mean world there.
Yeah, I don't take any offence. I think it's great that everyone... The great thing about TV is you get to sit at home, you get to be entertained, and you get to make an opinion on whether you like what you're watching or not. And that's one of the beautiful things about it. And if you don't know someone and they're critical of you, well, that's okay. Yeah. If you rang me and said, hey, I reckon you went too far last night, I reckon you need to pull your head in, I'd take it more seriously because I have respect for you and I know you and I think, gee, I better address this. But when you hear things that are wildly aimed at you, that's okay. I reckon it's just part of the fun.
Do you expect, with the program as popular as it is and the respect that people have for everybody that's on it, that you'd be able to change some of the rules of football? I mean, they're tweaking them all the time now, aren't they? And they might do away with the bounce. Do you expect to be able to have an influence over what the AFL does?
I don't think that they've ever paid much respect to what the Footy Show's views are of the rules, John. And albeit Sam, ironically, as one of the great ruckmen, has some pretty firm views on how the game should be rucked.
Sam, firm views.
And it would be hard to believe. And I reckon if you gave him the right platform, he'd go for an hour on this. And that's the contentious one at the moment, isn't it? You would have seen the weekend with some of the incidents. It looks like they're going to modify that, John, doesn't it, before the first
It does.
round?
Hutchie, I reckon here's me, an expert on television. I reckon the biggest danger you can fall into television, knowing absolutely nothing about it, is to be overproduced. Sometimes I see shows and I go, could they just get the producers out of the way? Sam, for example, I reckon has been so successful because he's not produced.
Yeah.
He's Sam. How much role do the producers have in the Footy Show?
We're blessed to have some rippers. Adam Rowe, is the executive producer, and his team are fantastic. But there's that balance, isn't it, between...
I mean, surely you'll be the producer, won't you?
No.
You and Rebecca.
No, I just get to come along and host this, which is the nice thing. But albeit I'll, like everyone, drive them mad with ideas and suggestions. But yeah, I think the beauty of Sam is you know what's coming next. Clearly that's going to be the case, and I have no idea what I'm in for in the first 15 minutes. And that's just what's great about TV and Australian life, because overseas in television, when it's pretty formatted and scripted, you wouldn't get this opportunity. So I'm really excited about it.
I know you've spent a fair amount of time in New York.
Yep.
I was once strolling in New York, down near the bottom of Central Park, about 59th and...
Yeah, about 57th and Central Park West, around there. Yep.
Right there. They had the NFL pre-game show.
Yep.
And I watched it. It was the rehearsal.
Yeah,
They did the show, and then they all sort of relaxed, and then 5 minutes later they bang, and they did the same show they'd done live.
Highly formatted.
Yeah.
And fairly not scripted, but everything's...
They virtually did the same show again.
And I think it's great that in 2017 we can still, in the old spirit Australian way, turn up and do our best on TV. And if it goes a little bit off the rails, well, so be it. That's the challenge tonight.
Hey, good luck with it. Footy Show returns 8:30 tonight on Channel 9. Have you got a showstopper?
We've got a couple of really good stories, and then Alex Rance, look forward to sensational talent. I think he's going to be one of the great stars of when he posts footy. Unbelievable.
Is that right?
Yeah, Heath Shaw joins us tonight. Tex Walker's tweeting from home. 2 panels too, rather than one, so a change at the halfway mark. A lot of really interesting and new stuff, and really looking forward to it.
Good luck with it.
Thank you for your support. Thanks, Ross. Thanks, Sean.
Craig Hutchison, co-host of The Footy Show, debuting tonight, 8:30 on 9.